So, first of all, let's drink some water. So, without wasting further time, let me start with a new topic today. And today's new topic will be analytical thinking, the skill that separates drama from data. Sorry for that. So, namaste everyone. Let me start with a very normal scene. In Nepali and Indian family home, especially, one day the electricity bill comes. Sorry. Father opens the bill, looks at a moment, looks at the amount, and immediately says, यो महिनाको बिल किन यति धेरै आएको? कसैले एसी दिनभर चलाए जस्तो छ. Who kept the geyser on? सबैको मोबाइल दिनभर चार्जमा हुन्छ. Their mobile is always charged 24 by 7. With, within, third, within 30 seconds, investigation starts. Without investigation, accusation first, evidence later. Accusations first and evidence later. Now, tell me honestly, is that analysis or is that an assumptions? Today we are talking about the analytical thinking. Analytical thinking is different from logical thinking. Logical thinking was the thinking that we have talked yesterday. So today, analytical thinking is very different from the logical thinking. So hear about it. Logical thinking connects cause and effect. Yes, it connects cause and effect. Analytical thinking breaks things down. It asks, what exactly is happening here? Not emotionally, not dramatically, but systematically. Let's go back to the electricity bill. An analytical thinker will not shout first. They will ask, what was last month's bill? How many units were used? Did rate increase? Was there a new appliances? Is the meter reading correct? See the difference. Drama says someone is irresponsible. Says analysis says let's examine the variables. And this difference changes everything. Now let's make it very personal. How many times have you said I am improving or analytical think how many times have you said yourself I am not improving myself? Okay, analytical thinking says improving in what exactly? Compared to when? Measure how? And based on which indicators? Most of us use very vague conclusions. I am behind. I am failing. I am unlucky. Life is not fair to me. But analysis asks what are the measurable facts? Without data, your brain fills the gaps with emotions. And emotions are terrible at satisfaction. And emotions are terrible statistician. And the emotions are very bad statistician. Let me tell you something very common. Sorry, my throat is a little. Let me tell you something very common. A student fails one exam. Immediate conclusion, I am bad at this subject. That's not analysis, that's labeling. An analytical thinker will do so, something different. An analytical thinker do something different. They will sit down with the paper and ask, which section did I lose marks in? Conceptual questions are theory. time management or understanding, careless mistakes or knowledge gaps. Now, the problem is specific, and the specific problems are solvable. Vague problem creates permanent stress. Let's take another relatable situation. You upload a video on YouTube. It it got low views. Immediately you think, algorithms hate me. Content is useless. Maybe I should quit. Analytical thinker says, wait, let's break it down. What is the click through rate? What is the watch time? What is the retention graph? What was the thumbnail difference? What time was it posted? See the shift from emotional reaction to performance breakdown. Analytical thinker turns failures into feedback, and that is powerful. Analytical thinkers turn failures into feedback, and that is very powerful. And let's bring into family life again. Someone in the house says, "You never listen to me." Very strong statement. Analytical thinking all will pause and ask, never. Really? Never or sometimes? What specific extents are we talking about? Many conflicts happen because we exaggerate. You always. No, this is very important. Now let's bring this into the family again. Someone in the house says, "You never listen to me." You never listen to me. He's trying to say he has not been listening to him anyway. Through his life, he has not listened to him. Very strong statement. Analytical thinking will pause and ask that person, never? Really never? Or sometimes? What specific stance are we talking about? Huh? What specific instance are you talking about? Many conflicts happen because we exaggerate. You never, everyone, no one. Analytical thinking removes exaggeration. It asks for specifics. Specifics reduce drama. Here's another cultural example. In many homes, when one cousin becomes successful, everyone says, Usko ta kismat ramro. He has very good luck. Analytical thinking says, let's examine that. What skills did they build? What risk did they take? What opportunities did they recognize? And how long did they prepare? He, we call it luck. Analysis often reveals preparation. Now, here's something very important. Analytical thinking is about identifying patterns. We had talked about the logical thinking is about finding patterns. The same thing is applied in this analytical thinking. Analytical thinking. Analytical thinking is all about identifying patterns. If every month you end up with no saving, that is not a bad luck. That is a pattern. If a relationship ends in the same type of arguments, that is not coincidence. That is a pattern. If every year you say next year I will get serious, I will work on myself, and you make big resolutions, and after a month, no, you will wait for next year. That is also a pattern. Analytical thinking asks, what is the common factor here? And sometimes the most common factor is you. You and me. That is uncomfortable but powerful. Let me give you a very realistic example. A young man says, there are no opportunities in Nepal. Okay, Analytical thinking asks in which industry, compared to which country, for what skill level, what data supports that. Have you tested different approaches? Have you tested different approaches? This one is very powerful. Like when I go to some people, they say there is no opportunities in Nepal. But when you listen to this phrase again, go them ask with analytical thinking approach in which industry, compared to which country, for what skill level, and how what data supports that. Have you tested different approaches? This doesn't mean the statement is wrong. It means the statement must be examined. Analysis doesn't reject claims. It doesn't reject claims. It investigates them. Now let's talk about money again. You say, I don't know where my money goes. Analytical thinking says, track it. For 30 days, every rupee, write it down. Now pattern appears. Food delivery, subscriptions, impulse shopping, transport. Without tracking, it feels mysterious. With tracking, it becomes measurable. What gets measured can be improved. What gets measured can be improved. That is analytical thinking. Here's something deeper. Analytical thinking prevents emotional manipulation. Think about it. Analytical thinking prevents emotional manipulations. Suppose someone says, this investment will double your money in 3 months. Emotion says, wow. Analytical thinker says, what is the risk? What is the business model? What historical data exists? Is it regulated? Why are they offering it to me? See the shift. See the shift from emotional excitement to analytical thinking approach. From, from excitement to examination. Analytical thinkers don't get easily trapped because they slow down and dissect. They slow down and dissect each and everything they have to go through. Let's talk about career choices. Many students choose streams based on what are my strengths. No, no, no. Many students choose streams based on what others are choosing. This is very serious. Many students choose a stream based on what others are choosing. Analytical thinking will ask, what are my strengths? Which industries are growing? What skills are transferable? What are entry barriers? And what is the long-term demand? Analysis is like using the flashlight in a dark room. You don't remove uncertainties completely, but you reduce blind spot. You don't remove uncertainty completely. That's wrong. But you reduce blind spot. And here's something very important. Analytical thinkers doesn't make you overthink. Analytical thinkings don't make you overthink. That's the misconceptions. Like when people start to think, they think they are overthinking. But actually, the thing that must be think. You should not overthink that I am overthinking. That's the point. We should not think that we are overthinking. But we must never stop thinking. That's the thing. So many people will say they are overthinking because they are overthinking that they are overthinking. That is very powerful. Listen about it, okay? Think about it. Overthinking is emotional looping. Analysis is structural questioning. Overthinking says, what if everything goes wrong? Analysis says, what are the real probabilities? What are the realistic probabilities? Overthinking is fear based. Analysis is data based. Huge difference. Let me tell you something powerful. Let me tell you something powerful. Most successful business doesn't run on motivation. They run on analysis. Sales numbers, customer behaviors, conversion rates, cost structure, profit margins. Behind every strong decisions is structural thinking. Even in sports, a cricket team doesn't just say, let's try harder. They analyze opponent strength, pitch condition, player statistics, past performance data. That's analytical thinking in action. That's analytical thinking in action. Now let's bring it back to you. If you feel stuck in life, don't panic. Analyze. Break your life into areas: health, skill, finance, network, mindset. In each area, ask, what is the current status of me? What is the gap? What is causing the gap? And what actions can close it? Life becomes very less dramatic, most strategic with that questioning. And let me end with this. In our society, we are taught to work hard, very good, but we are really taught to analyze. Hard work without analysis can bring you busy for years, can keep you busy for years without progress. So, analytical thinking is the skill that says, let's not just work harder, let's understand smarter. It separates noise from numbers, excuses from evidence, stories from statistics. If you build analytical thinking, you argue less, you understand more, you waste less money, you choose better careers, you improve yourself, you improve faster, and you panic less. Because you don't jump directly to conclusions, you examine them. So next time everything goes wrong, don't shout, don't blame, don't assume, break it down. Because once you break it down, you can build it back better. You can build it back better. That that is analytical thinking. That is analytical thinking. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the session every time. So I will be in the next one, and I will be hearing that you will be also joining with me with this session. So nothing much. I will be meeting you soon in next topic, and let's make our day very nice. Thank you. Asta bros.